What's up, y'all? I am Morgan, the CEO, and this is Black Lesbian Wealth. I am back. It's been a while. However, I have some new information for you all for another side hustle, which is starting podcasts. Now, I get a lot of people that's like, I want to start a podcast. I want to start a podcast. They haven't done it, so I'm going to assume maybe it's just because they don't know how to, because other than that, I don't know why they haven't done what they said they want to do. So what I wanted to do is show you all how you can create a podcast and distribute it amongst all the platforms, Apple, Spotify, and whoever else has podcasts. So basically, I have a podcast. I started it last year. I actually haven't been consistent with it. Only done 3 episodes, and I suck for that. But I am going to get back to it. I promised myself I'm going to get back to it because it was something that I really wanted to do. And the whole mission behind it is something that's really, really important. And I'd be doing myself a disservice and doing everybody else a disservice if I do not start it back up. However, I say that as a disclaimer because I'm going to show you the back end of my podcast dashboard, and you're going to see tiny bits of views, tiny bits of everything, but that's because I don't use it. But I want to show you on my dashboard so that you can understand how yours is going to look when you create yours. So the platform that I use is called Anchor. It's actually owned by Spotify. That's why it's so super easy to get your podcast on Spotify. So let me show you all real quick. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, cool. So real quick, this is my screen. Actually, let me show you from the beginning. So Anchor.fm is the website. Let me move this. Okay. You would just basically come here to get started. I'm not going to do that because I already have one. But basically what's going to happen is you're going to put in your email, all of that sign up stuff. Then automatically it's going to send you to the dashboard, in which it will look like this. Okay. Now, all of this stuff is going to be blank because yours is brand new, but this is mine. So we're going to go through this dashboard real quick. All right. So first things first, if you have a WordPress website, blog, or something like that, they have this feature here where you can connect it. Boom. Now your podcast is on your website. I have my podcast on my website. I do not have WordPress. I have Squarespace, but it's very, very simple and easy if you know how to embed players and stuff like that into your website. All you have to do is just get the embed code and you can put it on any website. This right here is my podcast. It's called the CEO Lifestyle Podcast. Now, right here, it will be your podcast name. So whatever the name of your podcast is, this is what you're going to put here. You're going to want to design a photo for it because I don't even think you can upload anything without having some type of image to it. So you're going to design a photo. I did this in Canva. I showed you all how to create stuff in Canva in the past video. So go take a look at that one and you can figure out how you can create your little image or something for your podcast. Here, just like any other bio, whether you got social media or something, you understand that you have to put a description here. So you're going to want to put what your podcast is about, so that when people come across it, they know what they're getting. And that will be the determining factor of whether or not they're going to subscribe or not. So make sure you put something right there, please. Okay. Here, this means edit. I'm not going to edit it, but let me just click it so you all can see how it looks. See, podcast name, description, cover art. You're going to pick a category. Mine is entrepreneurship, English, but you select whatever it is that you want to do. Clean content. If you have explicit, you're going to definitely want to select that so people can know. Show Anchor logo on cover art. I didn't want to do that, but if you do, you just select that. Show voice messages buttons on your Anchor profile. I have that on because voice messages, I believe I haven't gotten any, but I do believe it's when subscribers or whatever leave you a voice message. I guess it shows on the profile. I don't know, but somebody go and try it out for me so I can see what that looks like. But I kept it on because I thought it was probably cool. Include voice messages link in your episode descriptions. Like I said, I haven't gotten any, so I don't really know how that works. But somebody please go onto my website, not my website, my podcast, the CEO Lifestyle Podcast. Leave me a voice message and then we can see how this works out. Account settings, boom, that's all my information. That's my website. I put my website, my email. This is my business email. Well, one of my business emails, my name, Morgan the CEO. custom URL. You all know what a URL is by now, maybe, I'm assuming, but if not, anchor.fm/Morgan. You type that into the browser up here and boom, it's going to take you directly to the profile. Connections, these are the connections. You can connect it to YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Delete account. I'm not going to delete my account, but that's how you would delete it. Okay, we're going to go to save. Oh no, let's just hit back. Okay, so what I was talking about with the URL, this is it, the public site. So this is anchor.fm/Morgan, the CEO, and this is how it will look. Me personally, I wouldn't direct anybody to this. I would direct them to like Spotify or Apple and stuff so that the streams or listens can add up. I'm not sure if they listen on this, whether or not it'll be collected on Spotify or not. But if you do want to just have it all in one place and have a website, you can direct them to this. You can share it. See, it's letting you know. You can click, let me show you. Click Spotify. Boom, it takes you to my podcast on Spotify. Click Apple. Same thing. So that's pretty cool. So here is really cool. It's basically a tool where your listeners can support you monthly. Boom. See, they can make a monthly contribution, 99 cents, $4.99 or $9.99 per month. And it's basically just paying you to create because, you know, us creators, we're basically self-employed for the most part, and we have bills to pay, you know, sitting here and creating videos and creating our art and stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily pay when you're first starting out, but if you're consistently putting out stuff to your supporters, they may want to support you. So this is pretty cool. They can support you that way. That's the first way that you can monetize this podcast. There's another way, and I'm going to show you in a second. But this right here is so that they can send you a message. This is basically the view as if I was a listener. So let's go back to the dashboard. Cool. Down here, sharing it to Facebook. Well, I think that's setting up Facebook, setting up Twitter. This right here is if you want to copy the URL to your public site. And this is if you want to copy the embed code. And the embed code is, like I was saying earlier, if you want to put it onto your website, any website that you have, you just have the little embed box, or if you do coding, you can just copy and paste that into the profile page or whatever it is, and it will show your podcast. So that's the code right there. All right. Again, like I said, I don't really have, my numbers aren't up there because I started it and I forgot about it. Right here, my all-time plays are 44, my audience, 5, unique listeners, 2, current balance, 21 cents. Now that we're right here, I want to let you all know the second way that you can monetize this platform. So I selected it. Okay, cool. So what happens is Anchor will pay you to create a audio commercial, right? So they will give you a script, you will record it, you place it into your podcast episode. Every episode, every time you get a listener and they listen to it, they'll pay you. Well, I got 21 cents from, let's see how many listeners, from 44 plays. That's cool, right? So imagine if you're somebody who has millions of plays and you're getting the Spotify partnerships, sponsorships and stuff like that, you can get paid pretty good. Not Spotify, Anchor sponsorships. You can get paid pretty good. It's a pretty good hustle. Yeah, so this is basically it right here. I had to upload it in there. Let's see. What's up, y'all? Can you hear it? If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the greatest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast. Boom. So basically, I recorded that. I put this in every episode, and there we go. All right, listener support. I don't have any supporters yet, so there's nothing that's here. Then down here, it lets you know, it gives you little tips on what you can do to increase your revenue. All right, go back to dashboard. Go down. All right, so this is the podcast performance, the analytics. You all are probably familiar with analytics. If you look at your analytics on IG and all that other stuff, it's basically just telling you the demographics, the type of people, the age groups, and what countries people are in that's looking at your content and how many plays and viewership, stuff like that. So that's what this is. It lets you know the top episodes, how many views or listeners per episode. This lets me know most people listen on Apple Podcasts. Second is Spotify, and then so forth. United States is my number one country. And then these are the other countries that people are listening to my podcast. Gender, I'm 100% female. Boom. So that's cool. They have non-binary. But yeah, this will let you know the gender or, that the people are that listens. And then this is the age group. So this is good to look at so that you can know, especially if you're going to do stuff like running ads, you can have an understanding of who you're going to target. So always look at your analytics. It's pretty cool. All right. So that's everything that's on the dashboard. We're going to come over here to episodes. For episodes, I only have 3, but these will be all of your episodes here. It lets you know when you published it, how many plays, how many ads. I just got 1 ad, just that one sponsorship from Anchor. Lets you know the length of every episode. Then over here, money, but I already took you all to this page. It's just basically going to let you know how much money you've made from your advertisements. Here, you're just going to select how to cash out. It's going to let you know those things. I think you have to connect a Stripe. You might be able to do PayPal as well, but a Stripe account, you just connect that, and then you can go ahead and just cash out. Okay, we almost done. You come over here to new episode when you're ready to upload your first episode. So what you can do, what's pretty cool with them, is they also have a phone app. So from the phone app, you can just record your episode straight from your phone through the audio on your phone through the microphone. Boom. Then they have it in the app where you can edit it too. So you can place your sponsorship, you can place transitions, you can place whatever it is on the phone app. You really don't even need any audio software. You don't need Pro Tools or Logic or GarageBand or anything like that. So it's really no excuse. Like you can't sit back and say, well, I don't have the equipment, because if you have a cell phone, you can just do a podcast through your cell phone. Just go into a quiet place, boom, start talking. If you did record it on like GarageBand, Pro Tools, whatever audio platform, software, you can basically just upload the audio through here. You can upload music. It'll come straight from Spotify. You can put your messages that the listeners send you into the episode. You can make transitions, sounds effects, stuff like that. So it's real cool. Like you can really do all of this from your phone in the app. I'm showing you on the computer, but they have a phone app, and the phone app is equally as cool, and it has all of these same tools. So if you are going to upload an episode from your computer or from your phone, this is the tip that I want to give you all. Okay, so actually I'm going to show you real quick episodes. You're basically, in order to make sure that you get paid for your sponsorship, you're basically going to, here it is. You're basically going to have to split your recording up. So what I would do is I would advise you all to, say for me, my podcast was 15 minutes. I did a part 1 and a part 2. The first part here was 10 minutes, 29 seconds. Towards the end, I said, okay, y'all, we'll be back after this sponsored segment. Just like a radio station would do. We'll be back after these commercials, whatever. Boom. In that recording, make that into its own file as part 1. Then you make the part 2, which is this one down here. So for 4 minutes, 57 seconds, I came back and I said, hey, y'all, welcome back. It's Morgan, the CEO, blah, 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 whatever. That's going to come after your commercial. So 2 parts recorded into 2 parts, or 3 parts, 4 parts. Just depends on how long your podcast is and however you want to structure your podcast. Now, the reason I say this is because you're going to have to place your sponsored segment in between those 2 videos. So, well, not videos, but files, audio files, because the sponsored segment is its own separate audio file. you have to upload that as well. So you're going to want to, if you want to get paid, you only get paid if it's in the middle of your podcast or at the beginning. Or at the beginning of your podcast. You will not get paid if your sponsor segment is at the end. Reason why is because you can't guarantee somebody's going to make it to the end, which means they're never going to listen to the commercial. So why are they paying you? So me personally, I don't want the commercial in the beginning of my podcast. I want people to press play and they hear me first and the podcast starts going and then we hit them with the commercial. But if you want the commercial to be in the beginning, you can do that too. All you got to do is just drag it. So what happens is it's like a drag and drop thing. I can't move this because I already put this episode out. I mean, I can edit it, but I'm not going to do all that. Well, let's see. Okay, here it is. I'm going to edit it. So if I wanted to move this here, look at that. That works, right? But if I wanted to put this at the end, you see how it says ads won't play here? That's because they're not going to pay you because they don't know somebody going to make it to the end, basically. So I put mine in the middle. Boom. So the way that it goes is, hey, y'all, welcome to the CEO Lifestyle Podcast, blah, blah, blah. Then we talk about what the podcast is about. Then I say, okay, we'll be back after this sponsor segment. Boom. Goes into the commercial. Hey, y'all, I want to tell you about anchors. Da, 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 da. Then it comes here and says, welcome back, y'all. It's Morgan, the CEO. This is the CEO Lifestyle Podcast, blah, blah, blah. And then we continue on with the podcast and then end it out. So I just wanted to give you all that tip. I found that out myself because I did not know that I couldn't put it at the end. And then the first time I created my podcast, I just had one long video file or audio file, and I had nowhere to place the sponsor segment but in the beginning. So I had to put it in the beginning if I wanted to get paid. So that's how it would look once you create the new episode. So you're going to drag the files there, and then you're going to put the the visual, the artwork. You're going to put the artwork up there. You're going to put the description of what the podcast is about for that episode, the title, and then that's going to be that. You're going to hit save. And I think initially when you start your Anchor, it's going to take them a few days to send your RSS feed to Spotify, to Apple, to all of those other platforms. But once you're in the system and you start uploading new podcasts, it's not going to take a few days. It's going to automatically upload to your Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and whoever else makes podcasts. It's automatically going to do it. And if you make any changes, any edits in Anchor, it's going to automatically just update probably within a few seconds or a few minutes. Come over here to settings, distribution. We're almost done, y'all. So this is the RSS feed. Like I was saying, you're really not going to need it because they distribute the podcast to these platforms. However, if there's a platform that you want it on that they don't automatically send it to, because you see they send that Anchor, Breaker, Google, Apple, Radio Public, and Spotify. But say, look, down here, you want it on Castbox, Overcast, Pocket Cast. I've never heard of those, but people listen to podcasts on that. So you have to manually distribute it. Or if anybody asks for your RSS feed because they want your live updated podcast, you just basically copy this, send that to them, and then boom, it'll be on there. But you can, this right here says learn more about distribution. You can basically learn about these things. All of these websites always give you tips. They give you information about how to use it. It's very informative. They'll let you know what any of this stuff means, honestly. So it just takes you to just read some. Okay, advanced settings, display personal email address publicly. I don't have that on. Podcast connection code. I really don't even know what that is. I don't mess with it because I'm not redirecting my podcast, so I'm not messing with any of that stuff. But if you need to do it, then they have a step-by-step guide. And then your settings, stuff like that. This is just the podcast settings. And that's it. Help, log out, boom. It's real simple. You see that? Like, it's really only 3 things that you got on here. Let me show you. Like, it's just this first page, episodes, just upload it, boom, money to get paid. And that's it. Like, it's literally that simple. For everybody that's like, I want to start a podcast, I'm just letting you know it is very simple to do. All you have to do is press record and put it up on Anchor, and it's a wrap. And then promote it, boom. So stop waiting, stop being afraid, stop all of that. If you're worried about people not listening, just keep promoting it. Keep doing it. Consistency, I promise you, the more and more you do it and the more and more you keep sharing it, somebody will listen. And then that somebody will turn into many bodies. And then many bodies will turn into millions of people. So you just got to stay consistent. But the first things first is for you to actually start it. So I showed you Anchor, anchor.fm. It's so simple. You can download the app or you can do it on your computer. So simple. So I am Morgan, the CEO, and my computer keeps dimming. I am Morgan, the CEO. This is Black Lesbian Wealth. I have just now showed you how to create your own podcast. So do it. All right. Peace out.